So have you ever thought about a career that, literally builds the world we live in? I'm talking about a job that doesn't just open doors to amazing projects, but can take you to countries all across the globe. All right, let's jump right into this incredible field, civil engineering.
I mean, just take a second and look around. That road you drive on every day, the bridge you might have just crossed, even the building you're sitting in right now, none of it just appeared, right? There's a very specific group of pros we have to thank for designing, building, and keeping it all standing.
And yep, you guessed it, that group is civil engineers. At its very heart, civil engineering is this amazing mix of art and science, all about shaping our world. We're talking everything from a massive, awe-inspiring dam all the way down to the sewage systems we absolutely cannot live without.
So what does that really mean? What does it look like to actually build the modern world? Let's get into it. A great way to think about it is that civil engineers are the architects of our civilization's hardware. Seriously, they're the minds behind all the stuff that makes modern life even possible. The roads, the bridges, the airports, even the clean water coming out of your tap. And now, more than ever, they're focused on building a sustainable future. And just to give you an idea of the sheer scale of this, the world's road network, built by these engineers, it could wrap around the entire planet more than 1,600 times. That's just mind-blowing.
Okay, so maybe you're thinking, this sounds pretty cool, but what does it actually take to become one of these world builders? What do you need in your engineer's toolkit?
Well, the good news is the path is pretty clear. It's really a three-step process. You got to get your degree, build up the right skills, and then get licensed to make it all official.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just about being good at math. Of course, you need the hardcore technical skills. You have to be a pro with software like AutoCAD and really understand structural analysis. But, and this is a big but, the soft skills are just as crucial. You've got to be a great project manager, a solid team player, and an amazing communicator. How else are you going to get a massive, complicated project off the ground?
So your journey almost always kicks off with a bachelor's degree. Think of that as your ticket to the game. It gets you in the door for entry-level jobs. But let's say you want to specialize in something really cool, like designing buildings that can withstand earthquakes or creating futuristic transportation networks. Well, that's where a master's degree often becomes the key that unlocks those super specialized, high-level roles.
And if you really want to level up your career, we have to talk about certifications. The Professional Engineer License, or PE, that's pretty much the gold standard, especially if you're in North America. But there are others too. Getting a PMP shows you're a pro at project management, and a LEED certification proves you're an expert in sustainable green building. These things can be a huge boost for your career.
All right, so you've got the toolkit, but what about the jobs? Is there really a demand out there? The answer is a massive yes. And we're not just talking locally, we're talking about a world of demand.
Seriously, the demand for civil engineers is absolutely exploding across the globe. So why is that? Well, a few big reasons. First, our global population just keeps growing. Second, more and more of us are packing up and moving to cities. On top of that, a lot of our existing infrastructure, bridges, roads, water pipes, is getting old and needs a major upgrade. And finally, there's this huge worldwide push for sustainable and resilient construction. The bottom line, the work is literally everywhere.
And you know what high demand means, right? It means great pay. The average salary for a civil engineer, looking at the entire world, is a really solid $75,000 a year. But of course, average is just that, an average. When you zoom in on some of the major hotspots, like the US, Australia, and Singapore, you can see those numbers jump up quite a bit. That just shows you how much these booming economies really need skilled engineers. All right, let's go on a little world tour. If you're an engineer, where are the top countries you should be looking at right now?
Kicking things off at number 1, Canada. The government there is pouring huge amounts of money into infrastructure. We're talking massive projects like the Gordie Howe International Bridge, which is one of the biggest in all of North America. Combine that with a strong economy and you've got a top destination where salaries can push up to $110,000.
Sliding into the number 2 spot is Australia. Down under, a fast-growing population is fueling a huge construction boom, especially in big cities like Sydney and Melbourne. They're constantly expanding their metro systems. All that work is pushing salaries up, with some of the top engineers pulling in around $120,000. Next up, we head to Europe, to Germany. It's a total economic powerhouse, and the demand there is especially hot in the super cutting-edge field of renewable energy. So, if you've got those green skills, Germany has some really unique opportunities and, you guessed it, great pay. And of course, we can't forget the United States. It is just a massive land of opportunity with so many different needs. I mean, everything from fixing old bridges to building the high-tech smart cities of the future. It's no surprise that this is where you can find some of the absolute highest salaries in the entire field.
And to round out our top spots, let's look at the UAE and Singapore. In the UAE, you'll see some of the most ambitious, jaw-dropping construction projects on the planet, all thanks to some seriously fast urbanization. And then you have Singapore, which is a true pioneer in super advanced, super efficient urban planning. Both places, fantastic opportunities and salaries to match.
Okay, so the jobs are out there, all over the world. But how do you, actually get there? Let's talk about the practical side of things, crossing borders.
Here's the great news. Because civil engineers are in such high demand, a lot of countries have basically rolled out the red carpet. They've created special immigration programs, like Canada's Express Entry or Australia's points-based system, that are specifically designed for skilled workers. If you have the right degree, some work experience, and can speak the language, you're exactly who they're looking for.
And honestly, this is the most important thing to remember. In a field as essential as this one, your skills aren't just something you put on a resume. They are, quite literally, your passport to a new life and a new career anywhere you want to go. So, let's wrap this up. What are we really talking about here? It's a career with a massive real-world impact. It has incredible demand all over the globe, and it gives you the chance to not only make a great living, but to genuinely shape communities, leaving your mark on the world.
It's a really powerful profession, one where you can build your future literally anywhere. So the only real question left is, with an entire world out there just waiting to be built, where are you going to make your mark?